Hey guys, thanks for tuning into my video here today. So today, as you can see by the title here, I'm listing off several things I'd like to see in the next either Half-Life Alyx 2 or just next Half-Life in VR in general. One can only hope with Valve releasing the Decade, they release a VR title alongside that. That would be absolutely amazing. I would definitely purchase their game day one. With what Alyx has done with VR, it's fantastic. I still am amazed by how good this game looks, even several years later. But there are still several key things I would like to see improved and also implemented within, the next iteration of either Half-Life Alyx 2 or, Half-Life in VR in general for the next installment. So, yeah. So let's get into it. So pretty much this is going to be a list of our top 5 things. So pretty generic, but yeah, let's get into it. So firstly, I'd like to see the implementation of a sprint button. Now this is pretty generic and, pretty typical. But it would just be, good in certain situations to have the option of it, natively implemented. Because for me personally, some scenarios and scenes do not feel right without the option of a sprint button. So just having it there as an option to toggle on and off. So maybe automatic sprint versus manual sprint, having that as an option would be fantastic. And I'm sure some people would agree with that because it just doesn't feel right. Sometimes the flow is just, it's way too slow. So the next thing I like to see is melee combat. Now, I don't just mean the crowbar and things like that. I mean as in you can pick up basically any object. That's pretty much what a lot of VR titles do. So you got Boneworks as a prime example. So with that, being able to pick up any object in the game, being able to, throw them at an enemy or just hit an enemy with it in general would be absolutely fantastic. It would make the gameplay feel so much better in comparison to what it currently offers. I know they're trying to go for more of a newbie approach, but for me personally, just having the option there to, melee is just, it would be by far better. It just feels too static in certain aspects of how the game flows and it plays and everything else. So just having the option there and just adding that, would be fantastic. It would make me enjoy the game a hell of a lot more than I currently do, and I absolutely love this game. The next thing I like to see is, more weapons in general. So with Valve, they have an arsenal of weapons from Half-Life 2. So you got, the crossbow, you've got the crowbar, which I'm surprised that still isn't a thing in Half-Life Alyx, because for me personally, that's an iconic weapon. That is one weapon that, when people think of Half-Life, they think of the crowbar. You've got like the Magnum, you've got the gravity gun, so many other weapons that they just didn't, put in the game. I know you've got the gravity gloves, but how the gravity gun operates versus the gravity gloves, it's an entirely different thing. Launching objects, away from you and things like that. And also having the option of doing that to, win a battle or just, in combat in general would be absolutely fantastic. So imagine this, you're, say, using the gravity gun to, levitate a Combine soldier, and you shoot the Combine soldier into another Combine soldier. That would be absolutely fantastic. So please add, all the weapons from Half-Life 2 if you do decide to release another Half-Life game in VR, because these weapons are so iconic. For me personally, like the one weapon I'm disappointed with, actually there's two. The crossbow as well as the crowbar. They're two weapons that I'd love to see. The next thing I'd like to see in the next iteration of Half-Life VR or whatever they're going to release, if they do decide to release another one, is a holster system. So as you can see right here, I'm displaying Boneworks. Now Boneworks has one of the most, perfect holster systems in VR. So what I'd like to see with Half-Life Alyx, you can still keep the menu and just keep it the way it is. But I'd like to see the option of having a holster system there, so you still, you can reach to the right side, left side, your shoulder blades, your back, or whatever else, near your leg. It would just, for me personally, just, enhance the experience compared to going through a menu, and that's all the option is. With Boneworks, you have an option of a menu, but also you have the option of, grabbing your, say, pistol, your rifles and whatever else. So, yeah, I'd like to see the option of, a holster system because it would just make it a little bit more interesting as opposed to just, going through a menu and just picking your item and that's pretty much it. Just off you go. So, the final thing I'd like to see in the next iteration is, of course, more interactions with weaponry. Now, what I mean by this is having the option to throw your weapons to, wield it and say the left or right hand. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. For me, it just feels like it's static with some of the interactions. So, like for example, with the shotgun, for example, there's more around the map or throughout the campaign, so you can pick up, more than just one shotgun. because the shotgun that they give you throughout the campaign, you can't, you know, get rid of it. It's just there, and that's pretty much it. So if they had more weapons in the game, but also gave you the option to throw, say, this, or this, I don't care if they had a limit towards how many you can carry, but just having the option there to sort of be more interactive with the items that you have, so your guns and everything else, would be absolutely fantastic. So yeah, just adding that option there would definitely improve and enhance the experience. So like for example here, I've got a 5.7 pistol, and with the 5.7 pistol, it just feels, you know, in my opinion, different, but in a good way. I actually don't feel like upgrading that. I'd play through the campaign with that weapon stock. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So anyway, guys, those are my top 5 things I'd like to see in the next iteration of Half-Life in VR, or whatever Valve does decide to do. For me personally, I do believe that this game is one of the best VR games that has released. But just having, you know, more of an enhanced experience from start to finish in the campaign would be fantastic. Adding the crowbar, an iconic Half-Life weapon, the crossbow, things like that, you know, it would just enhance the experience. Like walking around, say, smacking head crabs with the crowbar does sound incredibly satisfying in VR. And yeah. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and leave your thoughts down below. And I shall catch you in the next video. Peace out.